Welcome everybody to a new video tour through our new show, which is by Tadaaki Kuwayama and three other artists from our stable, mirroring his work in their individual way. This exhibition was planned long ago. The origin is the Mies van der Rohe House here in Berlin. The director of the Mies van der Rohe House, Mrs. Vita Noack, had planned on a solo show by Tadaaki for already last summer, but due to COVID, everything had to be postponed. And the very moment she told me about the planned show, I was very much intrigued, because I do have a very old love for minimal art, and Tadaaki is one of the first artists in the US who had kind of invented or established and developed minimal art in the US. What you are looking at to my right-hand side is one of the two large paintings in our show. You see it consists of 4 individual canvases which are combined to one painting. Everything you see, including the thin metal aluminum bars which connect and divide the piece, are all handmade by the artist. So it's very important to him to develop a piece from the very beginning. He even has 2 different workshops, one for the manual making and one for the painting. This is one of the first of the 3 collaborations. This piece is mirroring the yellow piece you have just seen before by Tadaaki Kuwayama, whereas this piece is by the Berlin-based artist Albert Weiss. And what you could think of is that you see a painting without painting, and it's just a frame. And I found this very interesting when I saw this piece in Albert's studio, and immediately had in mind to combine it with Tadaaki Kuwayama's paintings, as the framework is very important to him as well. And of course, there are a lot of philosophical ideas you can have about such a piece, because you have a space within, you have a space around, you have a certain depth you are looking at, so it also defines kind of a room. And these are many, many questions you can think about. Confronting it with the ideas of painting in Kuwayama's work, I find this very, very interesting. Now we are in our second space, which is our office space, but of course it's another part of the gallery exhibition spaces as well. This is a 4-part piece, and again all of these do consist of squares, but here you have 2 squares which are combined to a rectangle, and they all have very pale colors, but they are very, very fine, and especially the surface you are looking at. It is important for the artist that you don't feel or see any type of handwritten texture. So the texture has to be as neutral as possible. And this is what also would define the European-based concrete art. And so we here in Europe do feel his work even more connected to the tradition of European concrete art than to the American minimal. Whereas, of course, the minimal as a geographical origin of his place living in New York is the direct connection you would always find. The show continues with a 5-part piece by Hüseyin Sami, our Sydney-based artist, whose material actually is color. So this work group is called the Painted Skins, and you have to imagine that all you're looking at is many, many layers of colors, of acrylic color, which have been attached to the canvas underneath. And of course, the white texture is something which is mirroring the monochrome paintings by Tadaaki Kuwayama in a very, very special way. The third and last collaboration with Tadaaki Kuwayama is by Joachim Gromick, the work you are looking at to my right-hand side. You might already remember him from another group show he was part of before. His work is about trompe-l'oeil, so all you're looking at is not what it seems to be. It's not self-adhesive foil, it's not tape, it's all paint. So even the surface of the board is painted surface of a board. In preparation of this show, I have been asking Tadaaki if it would be possible to show works from different periods through his lifetime, actually. And I'm very, very proud and at the same time very, very happy that he offered to show these two works, the black and the white one, which are very early from 1962 and 65. They are not canvases, these are boards with paper wound around it and fixed to it. And for me, this is a very strong connection to the Japanese origin, where paper is a very important material to produce art from. Actually, we are in the third space of the gallery. This is what I call our Tadaaki contemplation space, as there are no other works by other artists in this space, but only his ones. So here you have like two medium-sized pieces which are different to the others, because here Tadaaki has incorporated a different type of color which incorporates a metallic texture within. So the surface is a lot more reflecting than in the other works. Now we are looking at the last piece in our show, which runs until August 28th. And you need to explore these pieces in person. If you have a possibility, please do so. There are so many details. For example, the dark gray surrounding of the red color here, which has the same width than the metal frame. These are details which have been developed by Tadaaki over decades to absolute perfection. And this is what one has to experience by detailed video screening, but better, of course, in person. Thank you so much for sharing our tour, and until soon.